And beating Clemson for us, that's job number one right now. This may have been in the back of our mind last week, but it's here, and we've got to be ready to play this game. There's no option of not being ready to play. We have to be ready. We're not going to allow that to happen.
Is the feeling when you win better than the defeat? That feeling you get when you have to live with the defeat for a year?
I've always said that really the older you get in coaching, winning is not as good as losing is bad. I mean, that's just the way it is. And I had a friend of mine that got out of coaching and got into NFL scouting about 6-7 years ago, and he said it got to the point where it was just such a relief to win. And it's not like that for me right now. I hope it never gets like that. But I mean, losing is awful. I mean, it's awful. And winning, I mean, it's fun. I mean, losing is bad.
Coach, talk about Chazz and kind of how he's coming along with his hand, and even how he's coming along this season.
I mean, he was making a lot of progress, and then he broke that hand, and he was out for a couple of weeks and missed a lot of fundamental work. But he's got a great attitude, and that was the thing that we had to change with him when he first got here. He had a very poor work ethic. He knew it, and I told him every day, and he finally bought into it, over a year ago, and he works hard. He's getting better. His fundamentals are getting better. And that was a heck of a play he made the other day. I mean, that was a very athletic play, and he can run. I knew as soon as I saw 90 had the ball, I said he's going to score because he can run.
I know you mentioned Cliff Matthews and showing him clips of Cliff playing. Is that kind of what he's becoming? Maybe not like Cliff, but that kind of work ethic, that kind of motor?
Yeah, a lot better. I mean, he can be a real good player. And he's got 3 more years after this year. So, but sometimes you got to show them how to do it. Some guys they don't know, and maybe I'm not a good enough teacher sometimes on the field. So, showing them, hey, this is how you actually do something. And film, use Cliff for an example. That was a good thing. I guess we did.
Building on that, you got guys, seniors like Cliff and Lottie, that have great work ethics. How much has it been able to help you this year for you to showcase those two guys and say this is what you can be?
Anytime I've got a role model in the group, and or 2 or 3, that always helps with the young ones. I mean, because this is how it's done.
How many guys did you see fit that role now? Is it just Cliff?
I think Cliff and Lottie and Travian, as far as technique. Now, sometimes I don't push him as hard in practice because of his knee. I don't want to. He's just like a pep. He understands football. He's a good football player. Why push the envelope too hard and maybe get him hurt in practice? That's not smart on my part.
Do you think you'd get this much pressure on the quarterbacks this year?
Yeah, I mean, I always anticipate the good.
Yeah.
And I'm disappointed when we don't, do well in any aspect of the game. But every game's different. Every game's a new challenge. And we've got Clemson this week, and that's a huge challenge for us. And so we've got to do a great job. I mean, they do a good job in protection. Their quarterback's only been sacked 13 times.
Yeah.
And a lot of it's their line, it's their scheme, it's their quarterback, making quick decisions and moving in the pocket. So, getting pressure on him will be a key for us. And if we can get him on the ground, great. But again, I believe that's the least amount of sacks of anybody we've played, as far as average per game.
Right.
And so they do a great job of keeping him protected.
Has there been any personnel surprises for you, a Melvin Ingram or a Devin Taylor coming on this strong? Any of those?
No, I mean, with Melvin, it's a matter of time.
Yeah.
He may be the best athlete as far as being able to do things on our team.
Yeah.
And so it's just a matter of time with him. And he's still got a long ways to go because a lot of times he doesn't use his hands like he needs to. And he hadn't been a defensive lineman very long. Right. And Devin's the guy I knew what he could do. And he's done it, and he keeps getting better. The key is making improvement during the season.
Yeah.
I mean, when you can make improvement during the season, you got it. That's what you're supposed to do.